all new 2025 Centurion Ri245 is right behind me. Let's check it out. For people that don't know, the Ri series is the best option available when it comes to Centurion. That is their top of the line model. Now they also have an Ri230 and an Ri265, but today we're only talking about the Ri245. Okay, now first looks at this boat, it just looks mean. This Predator power tower that's on all the Ri series is a really sweet tower. Not only is it functional, it looks badass and it's got some solid features. A couple of other things that are standing out to me is the attention to detail within the interior, the gator step throughout the boat, all these things that Centurion's thinking about, you can tell they really care. It's pretty unbelievable to see all the technological advances that Centurion is implementing into their new boats, and the Ri is definitely top shelf. One thing that's pretty epic, these boats are really customizable. So you have the option to choose between a boatload of colors. I mean, between all the color combinations you could do, I think it's a seriously large amount of options. You can choose the color of the boat, all the accents on the tower, the ram fill, the sides of the windshield, all those things you can choose. You can also do the same with the interior. You can choose the type of interior. You can have hex, you can have these double stitched. All these options are super cool. And there's also available packages that if you want to go with like the Warrior package or the Salute to Service, all these other packages will have a lot of options that come with them pre-made, and you can still customize on top of those. Well, what's also cool with the Salute to Service and those packages, a little bit of your money is going to go help support those entities. And this boat doesn't specifically have a certain package, but it's definitely picking off cool things that are available in other package options. That's what I'm saying. If you have a moment, hit that website at centurionboats.com and you can play around with all these options. Now, when it comes to performance side of things, this thing doesn't disappoint there as well. I mean, the first time I saw that wave was pretty insane, but it's also super easy to set up. Same with the wakeboard wake. It's a good, clean wake. You can adjust all the sizes and shape as much as you want when it comes to the wave or the wake. Everything is very customizable. If you're somebody that doesn't want a big wake, all that is available to you because this is a big boat and you're gonna have a huge wave and wake to work with. Also on these boats, they are coming with the ram fill too. So that system is pretty sleek. You're gonna have to run about 15 miles an hour to fill up those ram fills, but this boat has a nice ballast system helping make that wave extra juicy. A couple other things on that Predator power tower, you know, we've got the Bombshell 2.0 racks. You also have the ability to store surfboards at the top of that bimini. So you could fit two boards up there, easily grab those from up top and get to work behind that wave. Like I said, this is a premium boat, and that's the same situation when you're inside it. Feels premium, especially when you're sitting in that Helm, all the little gadgets and everything, you know, the adjustable seat, all those things make you feel like you're having the best option out there. The Ri series is unbelievable. Now, what's really cool is Centurion has the Opti V hull. It's a very deep V. That thing's gonna cut like butter through some chop, but the way it flattens out in the back, it definitely helps with the fuel efficiency. So Centurion doing the best, you know, having a big boat, making a big wake, it's gonna use a lot of gas, but they've designed a hull that helps that boat flow through the water just a little bit easier and helps keep it even. So I really like the way the Opti V hull performs. We're gonna get into some general specs here. Like I've said before, this is 24.5 feet long. And then we've got a beam across looking at 102 inches. The weight of the boat just itself is 5,700 pounds. If you're gonna throw that on with the trailer, you're looking at 7,300 pounds. With the boat being big like this, you're gonna fit a lot of people. That's why you could fit 16 people in this boat. When you're looking at what's under the hood, we're talking about PCM engines. They've been working with Centurion for a while now, and you do have a few options. You can start all the way at 400 foot-pounds of torque. You can get all the way up to 665 foot-pounds of torque. So when you're making your decision on what Ri you want, you also get to make the decision on what engine you want. On the ballast side of things, we do have a few options. You can opt to have more ballast in this boat. You can have bow ballast, extra rear ballast. You've got the subfloor ballast. You know, if you choose all the options, you're gonna get all the way up to 5,650 pounds of ballast, which is pretty freaking sweet. So we're now in the boat on the water, and we're gonna start here in the nose for this walkthrough. And I can say that all I see is gator step underneath me, around me, and some beautiful vinyl, and a nice big playpen to sit up here. Now standard, they're coming with a center cushion. You can take this thing in and out, but with it in, you've definitely got a lot of room in here. Now you will see this gator step up on the gunnels and stuff. This is that 3-tone they've got as an option, and it's also this camo pattern that you've seen in the Warrior Editions before. So that's really nice. I like the scheme with the tan and the gray. It looks pretty tough. A couple of other things going on. We do have this front logo on the nose here. That lights up. A lot of things in this boat have RGBW in here, so that's super cool. Also, we have a camera on the front. We'll get into that when we jump in the cockpit. You'll really see how that comes into play. But we also have wet sound speakers, one on each side, some outlets to plug in to charge up, obviously some handles and cup holders. Those kind of are just standard on all Centurion models. But what's really cool is we have these armrests that flip down. So when you sit forward, you know, just enjoying the breeze, you can put that armrest down, make it even more comfortable for you up here. This vinyl in here looks super sweet. We've got some hex patterns, some double stitching. I mean, you can tell Centurion goes a little bit above and beyond when it comes to this pattern and all the options that you have to choose from when it comes to choosing your vinyl. Underneath these cushions though, on each side, we also have some storage underneath there. On this RI, we opted to have the bags underneath, so we've got additional weight. So those will take up that storage, but if you don't want that extra weight, you do have room underneath these seats to store some things. All right, so now we're gonna start making our way back, but first we're gonna look at this windshield as I open it up and come in here. It's a pretty slick looking windshield. On the sides here, you can change those colors. It's got the sick little tan accents that we've got going on. But overall, this windshield looks pretty mean looking. I don't believe that the tint comes standard from the factory, but maybe if you be nice to your dealer, they might throw a little tint on there. With the windshield tinted, it's definitely a mean looking windshield already, and with that added, it's pretty sweet. But now we're gonna step into here. The first thing we're gonna look at is over my right. I've got a trash can in here. That's right there as we come through, super easy to get to. And then we're gonna look at the passenger seat. Now with the passenger seat, a couple little sweet things, of course, cup holders. But we've got a wireless charging phone holder here. So, you know, your passengers have that option. Usually that's typically in the driver's seat. Now it's on the passenger side. Now we also have the glove compartment here. You open this bad boy up, you get into some good stuff. What you've got here is you've got your battery control. So there's no more going underneath the seat. It's kind of becoming a standard thing for Centurion to have all the access here. So we've got 2 batteries here, house and engine. We're gonna pop those puppies on and off here with a simple switch of a button. Gotta love that. Right next to it, we're gonna have our breaker panel to where if those pop, you can easily access those and put those back on. So that's really nice to have all this right here next to you instead of having to dive under a seat, move stuff. Love that, smart thinking, on a hinge, solid system. Some more on this passenger seat, you can start to see the vinyl layout really well here. We've got the 2-tone with the stitching. I mean, got the hex in different colors. Like, this is pretty sweet. So it's awesome to see all these different options you have when you can make your own custom boat. Colors, interior, everything. There's so many options. So when you go on the website, you'll have plenty to choose from. As we sit down though, it's pretty sweet. One thing I like is you've got some gator step here at the back here, maybe to bang your heel. That's protected now. So I like the way it's all laid out. It's very comfortable in this seat. As you'll notice, I'm 6 foot and this is pretty high up here. So you're definitely sitting pretty deep in this boat because it is a big boat. You know, everything about this boat feels big. The tower, everything that we're gonna get into, we'll talk about. But in general, when you sit down, you feel small, which is cool. That means you have a big boat, which is why the Ri245 is pretty sweet. A couple other things going on in the passenger seat. I've got another wet sound speaker over here and a grab handle. This is RGBW as well, so you'll have all these speakers lit up inside. It looks super sweet when the evening time, nighttime, whatever you want to do. Behind me though, I've got some storage. So this is pretty classic. This always comes up. You can fit your headrest for your pull-out bench rest. You know, I've got some life jackets, and you got your trash can in there, obviously, but that comes up. Easy to put a lot of good big things in there. I've also got some storage underneath me. That's where my batteries are going to be, and fire extinguisher. And as we work ourselves along the rest of the way, we've got more storage and more seating. This is going to pop up. It's really nice. We've got a mat in there, so nothing's sliding around. We've got that premium feel to it. But behind that, you also have this seat. Look at that, pops right up. You can come here, take a seat, watch the action, have a nice backrest, and you can also have someone else behind you with a backrest. So everybody's supported and comfortable. And I will say, I do feel small again. Like it's not that it's uncomfortable to have my arm up here, but you're sitting deep in this boat, so you definitely feel safe. Behind my legs here, we do have a fully customizable backsplash or finish on this. We've got the blue sparkle to match the boat. You can make it whatever color you want. But we also have 5 cup holders, a wireless phone charger, 2 wet sound speakers, 2 grab handles. You've got some features over here, jam-packed, ready to go. So as I can understand it, we have some more over here. So we have 4 wireless chargers in this boat. So that's 4 people that can just, don't need a cord, forget about it, boom, plug it in, you're done. I think this is awesome. So now we're gonna jump over to the other side of this seating. You've got it. Obviously, you got this back piece here, more room for comfort. You're gonna have the same ability to store things underneath these seats as well. This thing's gonna pop up on a hinge, and this also pops up on a hinge. So it makes it super easy to open your storage and close it. Again, 5 cup holders, handles, speakers, wireless charger like I was talking about. You've got all these things, but what's really cool is also the stitching. All this customizable stuff, it's right next to you. It's super good looking, and it's kind of all over the boat, so I love that. Now right behind me, we have another trash can. So it's pretty cool. Right behind you, pop that open, 1 trash can on each side. Pretty sweet. You can go in here, access that trash can. Obviously pretty full because we're using the boat. So now we're gonna look at the floor here. You can tell we have gator step kind of throughout the whole boat, which we said before, it was that 3-tone scheme. I really like the way it complements the boat. Up here, we have a cooler. So you can open this up. You don't need to bring a cooler with you. Right there. It's got a drain hole in it, all the good stuff. You just throw ice, drinks, the cooler's at your feet. No more trying to drag a cooler, just bring the supplies you need and you're good to go. Everything's covered on the floor here with gator step, even along the sides like I was saying. I really like that because it just protects the boat, it protects you, makes everything feel good underneath your feet. Another thing we have is more RGBW. So throughout the whole boat here, we've got RGBW. So when you turn those on, it's evening time, it's pretty cool how much RGBW is throughout the whole boat, giving you a very premium feel. I mean, this is the Ri245, so it's definitely a premium boat, and you get that premium feel for sure. All right, so we're now in the helm, the cockpit, the captain's chair. This is where you control this Ri245. The first thing we'll talk about is this seat that we're in. This seat is pretty customizable in the fact that it's got electric controls on the side here on the right. I can go up, down, sideways. I'm just kidding, can't go sideways, back and forth. Just any normal seat control you can do. I do have a handle here that lets me swivel. I can swivel and open up pretty easily. So that is pretty sweet to have. Now, looking ahead, it's a pretty premium dash. Like, let's get real. You got 2 big screens here. I've got some nice badging that lights up. There's a lot going on, so let's get into it and kind of break it down for you. First things first, we'll start with the steering wheel. Nice, good looking steering wheel, feels solid. Nice and clean, love that. Underneath the steering wheel, we do have some paddles. These paddles are gonna control your Stinger wake plate to move that up and down. And then on the right side, we have our cruise control, plus and minus. So that way you can keep your eyes forward and not have to be fidgeting on the screens when someone's like, Bump it up, bring it down, change the wave. Fingertips, love that, love that. Right next to it though, we've got the throttle. Now the throttle's nice. I've got a nice armrest here right next to it. Comfortable. I don't feel fatigued all day running this throttle. Like I was saying, there's got some sweet badging. All this badging lights up. The throttle itself lights up with RGBW. Again, the whole boat is covered in RGBW. The throttle itself though, it is smooth. I know you can option for a thruster. This is just a normal throttle. The thruster option would be right here. You could be swinging that tail end back and forth. So that is an option if you're building out your Ri245. So remember that. And then on the side over here, I've got a cup holder. I've got some water in there. But right next to that, I've got the Predator Power Tower switch. You just hold that up, hold that down, whichever way you want to go. That switch is right there at your fingertip. Now we're going to kind of get into this dash that we're checking out. On the dash, let's start small. I've got a Wet Sounds head unit. That's going to control my audio. That's super sweet and simple. Right above it, I've got a wireless phone charger, one of 4 on this Ri245. That's going to charge my phone, keep it charged all day, and it's right in front of me. I can touch it, play with it, do whatever I want, and it stays charged. No wires, love that. Technology is pretty sweet. Now over here, I do have a key that goes in, but I have a start-stop button. So I'll turn the key on, start, stop, and we're on. Pretty simple. The other buttons I've got going on, I've got a bilge, blower, anchor, and nav, quick buttons that are not touchscreen. So I do like that tactile feel. But now let's talk about these dual screens that we've got going on. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with this boat and make it fit you. So number one, we talked about some cameras on this boat. The cameras on this boat, you've got one in the front, one in the back. I've got on my left here, I've got the transom camera. I can see what's going on behind me, and the one in the front is right here on the right. You've also got some lines here that are gonna give you a representation of how close you're getting. So it's super sweet to have these. Like I said, safety feature, but also pulling the docks, you can see how close you are. It's very convenient. Once you use it, you'll love it. On this left screen here, I've kind of got my vitals going on. I've got my speed control, my fuel, my engine hours, the water temp. I can show a couple other things like my trip and stuff like that, but it is pretty simple on this left screen. On the right screen over here is where we're kind of getting into it. Now we're on the home screen to start off. I've got my RPMs, I've got my engine temp, I can see what my Stinger weight plate's at, and I can quickly get to my quick surf or my quick launch. So those are kind of right there at your fingertips. The next one over, we've got the wave here. We can kind of customize our wave. We can set the tabs and change them real quickly. We can choose left, surf right, whatever you want to do. So that is right there. We also have control over all the lighting, like docking, interior, exterior. You can honestly just hit one button, boom, all the RGBW is on. That is pretty sweet. Hit it, all of it's off. So that is sweet and simplified. You do love that. I do know that if you hold down on the RGB, you can choose different colors. I like blue on blue, so we'll just stick with that. But that is a pretty cool feature to have. Now, next to that, we do have some navigation options so you can check out where you've been, where you're going. We do have music control on this big screen. If you wanted to not use the wet sounds, you can kind of use them interchangeably. Love that. The last little tab we've got is the ballast system. Now this is ram fill. So this ram fill is filling up really fast, but you've got to be going, you know, I like to be around 14.5, 15 miles an hour while you're running. You hit the ram fill to fill. That's going to fill up pretty quick. So that is a plus to have. We also have these additional other ballast in the boat that's going to help you fill up to all the way up to 5,650 pounds of ballast. That's pretty crazy. So I do love that you have all these options to specifically choose each ballast system. So you want to let weight out on one side or lessen the nose, you can do that really quick here on the ballast page. The last thing I want to touch on is the rider profiles. This is where you can really customize your settings and make it very easy when you come out to get on your boat. You're just going to come out here, pick a profile, press activate, and you're good. It's gonna set the speed, it's gonna fill up the ballast how you want them. All that stuff's done and easy. But you can come in here and make your own custom profile. We let Sean come out here and surf with us today, and he made his own little sweet custom profile that we can get into and really see what the pros are running. For him, these are all his settings. You can customize the name, obviously, but we're surfing left. He's got the surf tab at 75, center at 40, the set speed's running at 11.4, which is pretty fast, but this is a big wave, so it can handle that speed. It's so cool to see. You've got the center, the standard, the port ram, all these things are at 100%. We want this thing juiced up. And when you see that wave, you understand why. And remember, all this is stock. You could add some extra lead bags or other ways to put some more ballast in this boat if you wanted to, but just know that stock is pretty freaking sweet. Another thing that I noticed was that when I got out of the water, I was touching the screen with wet hands. You're still able to touch things and they're gonna work. It's not because your fingers are wet doesn't mean the screens are working. These are some nice premium screens. This is a nice premium dash. This is a premium setup. I love it. Ri245, they're crushing it when it comes to the details. Kind of the last thing that you can control with the Helm I wanted to touch on was if you're chilly, we've got a heater on this boat. You just grab this thing, bam! Put that thing right up in here, stay warm. It's pretty sweet to have. I'm pretty sure it's using the engine temp, but what a cool feature to have. Definitely something sweet to have on your winter rides out on the Ri245. So now we're underneath what is the Roswell Predator Power Tower. Now you can see above me, I've got 4 speakers, and typically I would be hitting my head. I'm 6'2", so 6 foot, you're just clearing it no problem, which is nice. I'm usually having to duck under boats or I'm hitting my head. So having some good clearance, this is a big tower. And above me, I've got a big bimini, which is super sweet. It's 9 feet long. I mean, this is a sturdy bimini, a sturdy tower. We've even got handles on it. What bimini do you know that you have handles? Usually it's a flimsy bimini. This is a solid piece of work, so I really love that. Now the Predator Power Tower does articulate up and down. It takes about 20 seconds to go up and down, you know, that's nothing. And especially how cool it looks when it's down. You're cruising down the lake with the tower down. Not only are you a little more protected from the wind and elements and sun, stuff like that, but it looks pretty sweet and slick. You can tow like that. You can tow with the tower up. It's a very strong unit. Some of the other things going on with the tower, we've got some lighting in here, so it definitely looks custom with that RGBW going on. We've got some hooks, you can hang some ropes, hang a vest while it's drying. This tower is pretty sweet, and it's very customizable as well. You've got all these color options with the blue you see. You can change those to whatever color to match your boat. But attached to the tower, we've got these racks. These are the Bombshell 2.0 racks. Really sweet. What I love is how customizable they are, because obviously you can see you've got a blue boat, got the tan accents on there. This tan color looks super sweet. If we look at this one, I've got a wakeboard on there. This is how easy it is to make it happen. Pull up, turning in, I hold it up because it will stop here, right? You could stop here if that's where you're standing on the gunnel. But you're inside the boat, pull it up again, bring that in, boom. Pull of a handle, turn it, drop it. Now my board's coming out, super easy to use. Pull it up again, hold it, swing it out. I mean, it's that easy. Super sweet rack, very sturdy, very solid. You can fit surfers in there, wakeboards, you name it. I'm pretty sure you can fit a foil. I don't know. I know there is another rack option that for sure will hold foils. So if that's something you want, make sure you talk to your dealer and get dialed in on what rack suits you guys. I'm gonna throw this bad boy back up there. Probably should have brought it in. One more time, bang. All right, there we go. Pull that up, turn it around. Look at that. Pretty sweet. Love it. So the last thing we have inside here, we've got this bench rest seat. This thing comes all the way back to here. Pretty sweet. And it also comes with some backrest. You can pop these in behind there, so you can pull this back, sit back, watch your riders, pull these back out, put them in storage, slide it back in, and you have all the room in the world inside. So pretty cool feature to have. I will say the backrest, it is kind of a nuisance to have to go and put a backrest in there, but once you set it up, it is pretty sweet. Okay, so we're done with in here. We're gonna work our way back. As I'm coming up, you see this step in this walkthrough. Super sweet. I'm not standing on my seats, messing them up. So that's really comfortable way to get through your boat without damaging anything. Not that you would, because it's really good vinyl, but it's less wear and tear, right? We're looking at the back here. We've got 2 seats. This backrest comes up. So when you're lounging, hanging out, look at that, boom. You can be sitting there hanging out. When you're done, push it forward, drops down, easy. It's really comfortable to sit back there. All the gator step everywhere. You're not gonna ding your shins and it's gonna hurt. Everything's very comfortable. Now underneath these, we do have storage. Look at that. That opens up real nice. We've got our bags in there for more ballast. We've got a little tray over here. I can put a vest, keep it warm, wetsuit, any of that stuff. But you got that on both sides. So that's kind of your big storage section, and it's in the back of the boat. We also have a ski pylon underneath here. This just pulls up, you turn it, stays up, turn it, drop it. Love that. So that is an option. You're gonna tow, ski. You can do anything behind this boat. You can ski, you can tube, do whatever you want. It's your boat, All right, so we're making our way all the way to the back of the transom now. And up top here, again, more gator step with that sweet camo pattern on top of everything. Along the gunnel, you can walk along your boat, gripped up. Now on the back here, we have one more storage unit. I will say we do have a bag in there for more ballast. This thing is crazy when it comes to the wave. So we've got a bag in there, but you can also store plenty of things. You could store a surfboard in there. You could store shoes in there, wet things. I don't know, I don't care. It's up to you. Back here, we have some more cup holders. So if you're back here lounging, you have a place for your drink. Also, we do have a Wet Sounds little remote back here. So say everyone's in the back of the boat, song sucks, you can hit next, volume up, volume down. Any of those things are doable. So that's a sweet feature to have. But then that brings us to the last thing, the platform. The platform on the Ri245 is big, just like the boat. It's a nice, comfy platform with more gator step, like we've talked about before. It's pretty sweet though. They have molded in handles. So as you can see, the boat is a little bit weighted. So I've got this platform in the water, but sometimes it is sitting up a little higher when there's no weight in the boat because it's just the way it is. These handles help you get up there, super easy to pull yourself up on. Love that. Also, I have a camera back here. It's a transom camera, pretty sweet. You'll see that on the dash when you're driving around. It's a good safety feature to have. You know what's going on behind you. And like I said, we have one in the front. It's nice to have these cameras on these big boats when you're maneuvering around tight spaces. Sweet feature. Underneath me though, I've got the Stinger wake plate, all the stuff that makes the surf capable behind this boat. So, man, I just love it. Ri245, man, what a boat. When it comes to surfing, you want the biggest wave. You're never really satisfied unless you have the biggest wave out there, and the Ri series is definitely doing that. We ran this boat stock today, and I would say if I added weight, it would honestly be pretty insane. I was even able to paddle into this wave. So if you don't have a rope, it is a possibility to just paddle in and start surfing, which I think is so sweet. So that's how you know there's a lot of push. When you're in that whitewash, you can feel the power that this boat is generating with that wave. And what's really cool, it's all adjustable. With that Silent Stinger wake plate, you can adjust that up and down, and you'll be able to shape that wave, have it run super long, make it steep, and then you can adjust your speed settings, your tabs, your ballast system, all those things are super controllable and customizable to you. Now, what was really cool, we had Sean Silvera come out today and surf behind this boat, and we let him dial in his own settings. It's cool to be able to have your own settings, come on your boat, hit activate, and ride one of the best waves that are out there. On the wakeboard side of things, we got out there, hit our wake profile, made it go active, set the speed up, fills up the ballast. It just makes things easy. So when you're out there wakeboarding, you don't have to think about fidgeting with all these other things to have a good wake. You just hit it and you're going and having a good time. With all this weight and how big this boat is, it is producing a pretty big wake. So I could only imagine if you were to add extra weight to this, it would probably get really ridiculous. It's really cool to have Centurion make a boat that has an amazing surf wave and still have a really good wakeboard wake. Wow, that is a wrap for today. We had a blast spending the day on the Ri245. This 2025 model is pretty banging. So if you guys want to know more about this boat and kind of see what's available out there, go ahead, head to centurionboats.com. Like I said, you can design your own boat and make it exactly how you want. But also, I really suggest hitting up a local dealer in your area and getting out on the water and trying out the Ri245 for yourself. Yeah, I mean, I had a blast. I hope you guys did too. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you guys don't miss out on any other reviews coming out in the future. I'm Cole, and we'll see you on the next test drive.